The Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil is a voluntary initiative that is striving to make palm oil the world's most important edible oil, a sustainable crop.
There are some people who argue that climate change is tomorrow's problem, something that future generations will need to deal with. We need to understand that climate change is materializing in our lives and affecting the lives of hundreds of millions of people right now, today, every single day of the year.
The message RSPO wants to communicate is RSPO certified palm oil has been produced in a sustainable way. And this means that RSPO certified palm oil comes with a number of assurances. That good agronomic practices have been applied, that biodiversity is protected, that no high conservation value areas have been converted, that free, prior and informed consent has been deployed to reach agreement with local communities, that proper working conditions are guaranteed.
And the other thing I think we found is transparency is still not that good. We had a very long and hard job. I've aged quite considerably doing this scorecard, not least of which actually trying to get a consistent set of information and actually being able to compare like with like and find out what is really going on.
Orangutans, my favorite subject. Orangutans and oil palm development, is it compatible? Ladies and gentlemen, I do not think oil palm developers consciously go out to eliminate orangutans. However, during the process of land clearing in orangutan country, which is the east coast of Sabah, all those pink patches, habitat loss definitely results in the collapse and even local extinction of these species.
To date, some 9 countries have applied to use the RSPO's trademark. This trademark can be the consumer face of CSPO, and hence pull the supply chain faster towards market transformation. At this point, I'd like to thank WWF for coming up with a very useful tool that will help us understand the progress of our RSPO members with regards to the promotion of sustainable palm oil.
I think sometimes when you're in the middle of being a multi-stakeholder initiative, it's good just to step back and think about that. So, at least for me, I think multi-stakeholder initiatives have 2 really defining attributes. First of all, they're inclusive, so both the governance and the technical development involves representation from all the different relevant groups. And secondly, they are balanced, that there are systems for making sure that everybody has a say and nobody dominates.
Sons and daughters of smallholders no longer wish to be farmers. If we're going to build wealth, if we're going to push smallholders, as was said earlier in this conference, they are the future, then how are we going to deal with some of these social issues? Let alone the incredibly complex issue of how do we actually certify fresh fruit bunches.
It's for me, I think, to pay tribute to all of those people who were able to come together in difficult circumstances to broker the emergence of the RSPO and to keep it going over the last 8 years in a way that has often been quite difficult.
Through various meetings, working groups and annual roundtable discussions, the organization formulated its principles and criteria in 2007. These address the various issues that confront the industry: sustainable practices, land use, new plantings, and worker rights.
It was the first time producers sat down together to have substantive discussions with environmental and social NGOs, most of whom had absolutely opposite views from the palm oil sector.
The key challenge is that RSPO was created in order to address a number of particular issues. One of these issues is, for instance, deforestation.
The main challenge for RSPO today is to ensure that the market knows about RSPO, the market accepts RSPO as an indication that there is sustainable palm oil.
We need to have enough supply for our suppliers to get the certified sustainable palm oil on.
We are faced still with the challenge of people actually buying the oil that is now being delivered into this market.
I think investments are certainly significant It certainly doesn't come cheap.
The biggest challenges are in terms of getting a supply chain which operates efficiently.
Palm oil as such is not the problem, but it's the fact that some manufacturers used damaging and detrimental producing techniques.
Obviously, you know, the quick reaction, you say palm oil is causing these fires and haze and destruction of the forest and displacement of orangutans. Yes, business as usual, that is true.
And I think that the more banks that could join this sector would be for the better. There are very few banks at the moment that are involved in this industry.
We're also trying to stimulate our customers and the retailers to ask and demand for sustainable palm oil.
I think the major challenge is to make it global. Now we need to expand it to these new frontiers in Africa, in Latin America and in Oceania.
There are markets, important markets that we need to address, that we need to reach. If we don't do that, we won't reach critical mass.
When I see, for example, a palm oil company that has made a commitment towards sustainability, the project was rescuing a dozen orangutans a month from their plantations. Not a single other orangutan needed to be rescued because they had ceased to clear their habitat.
We just want to make sure that the evolution and expansion of the industry occurs in a sustainable way so that the biodiversity in the tropical rainforest is not adversely impacted by the expansion of the industry.
I think the last few years growers did great effort in assuring that palm oil plantations are going to be certified, and now we have a lot of CSPO in the market.
I think it is essential that we make it clear to the world that we need palm oil, that it is such a versatile raw material that we absolutely can't do without. And the RSPO certification program shows that palm oil can be produced in a sustainable way.
Thanks to the RSPO's efforts, palm oil is well on the way to becoming our planet's first sustainable agricultural commodity.
Believed in the dream that this commodity could be produced in a sustainable way, could be produced in a way that does not sacrifice people, does not sacrifice the planet, and does not sacrifice profits.
My dreamt future is a sustainable world, which for me means everybody lives together happily, everybody looks after their environment, and everybody gives to the next generation what they have found when they were born.
My dream is to be able to say that palm oil, and this is the old terminology that we use for the vision of RSPO, palm oil actually contributes to a better world.